I have a question for everybody. Who here is a parent? Excellent. Okay, so which of you enjoyed the expenses of being a parent? See, I've heard a lot about these expenses because I'm not a parent yet, but my co-founder is. And when she had a baby a couple of years ago, she went through the whole frustration of falling prey to a $300 billion retail industry that makes you misspend your money on expensive and unnecessary baby products. And this is a really big problem. So a recent USDA study found that on average, households sacrifice about $13,000 every year on baby expenses. And a lot of these expenses are due to growth spurts. See, babies can go through up to 9 growth spurts in a year. That means parents have to undertake 9 shopping campaigns in order to keep their little one supplied with clothes, toys, and baby essentials. That's money and time spent, not to mention the amount of clutter that collects in their closets with all of the outbound items. So BeeKwee alleviates these problems by allowing parents to keep up with their baby's growth spurts without breaking the bank. And BeeKwee does this by making it simple to find and get children's gear handed down from other families on a single internet platform. So it's pretty simple. A parent goes onto BeeKwee and they find an item they like, and they start building a bundle. And then they'll take a look and see what else the owner has to offer, and they keep adding those to the bundle. When they're done, they send a request to the owner to claim it, and if the owner agrees, they approve it, and then BeeKwee generates a shipping label for the owner to stick onto the box. And we make it really easy for the owner because we use USPS flat rate boxes. That means that there's no hassle in weighing the package, and also a USPS flat rate box with a paid shipping label can be dropped anywhere that a USPS carrier collects mail. So not just the post office, but also UPS stores, sometimes even local grocery stores like Bel Air, and even the front desk at work. But even if that's too much of a hassle, you can go on USPS.com and schedule a free home pickup. And so that's the convenience that makes BeeKwee stand out, because there are other marketplaces out there where parents can find children's gear, but BeeKwee is a genuine sharing economy that really makes the hand-me-down experience simple and fun for parents. Now, our business model is pretty straightforward. Users who give away as much as they get, they don't pay a dime, it's free. But for users who may not have much to give but need something right now, we offer a paid subscription plan, and that's how we make money. Now, currently we're acquiring our user base through Facebook, buy, trade, and swap groups. We're also going to be reaching out to local groups as well as partnerships with NGOs that supply support to families in need. And we're also going to be using cross-posting of user items onto social media platforms. So because we aim high, we plan on getting 1 million users by 2019. And the market opportunities are really tremendous. As we scale our application and expand globally, we plan on tapping into a pool of 70 million potential new users a year. Because as we establish BeeKwee in the US, we're also going to bring it to Canada and Europe, where a large number of Mom's Facebook exchange groups are located. We're also going to be bringing a corporate package that's going to bring value to both sides of our marketplace and really drive BeeKwee's exponential growth. So this corporate package is going to allow entrepreneurs on Etsy, Shopify, and other sites to connect with our users so that these entrepreneurs can gain brand exposure as well as parent feedback. Now, BeeKwee is a 2-person startup. As I mentioned before, my co-founder is Beata, who is a new mother, and she has experience working with startups in Silicon Valley. I am the engineer, the CTO, and I'm also a Sacramento resident. Go Kings. So I bring the full stack software experience to the project. Right now we're raising $500,000, and we'll be using this capital to really grow our user base and also to launch our corporate plan. And we'll also be reinforcing the application with enterprise service-oriented architecture to make sure that it can smoothly scale with a surge in traffic. Now, when we reach 500,000 users, we can expect an MRR of $900,000. 1,000. We also anticipate about 1,000 paying clients using our corporate plan by the end of 2018, and that should drive the gross revenue to a little over $1 million. And so that's BeeKwee in a nutshell. I want to thank you very much for allowing me to present here. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us. So, thank you.
We'll start with the usual question, how can we as a community help you?
Well, we are a two-person startup, so we're kind of bootstrapping this. We would appreciate funding, but we'd also like to get local exposure. I'm kind of talking here because as a Sacramento resident, I do have a lot of hometown pride. My co-founder, she's based in Santa Cruz, and so we are going to be shooting for expos and conferences in the area, but I really like to get Sacramento involved in this. If, you know, as a CTO, I'm kind of doing all the development myself. I'd also like to reach out to other people who maybe have experience with affiliate marketing, getting that integrated, and so forth. So a lot of mentorship with the design of getting the corporate package plan integrated.
All right, we'll open up the question.
Hey Patrick, could you maybe go in a little bit more detail on your how you're making money?
Right now, yeah.
From a client perspective. So say I'm going to sell all my kids' clothes and toys. So walk me.
Well, as a client, so it's a hand-me-down platform. So you're actually not selling clothes as a normal user. You're just giving it away, and we track credit for how much you've given away, and that you can claim those many items back. So it's a sharing economy platform. Now, in terms of making money, if people don't have much to give away, but would like to get something, they can sign up for a subscription plan, which is going to be like $18 a month.
It's not the 18, so they pay 18 a month.
18 a month, yeah. To us, yeah. And that's pretty much a bargain too, because $18 is how much a USPS large flat rate box is, and they can really fit a lot. They can fit like over $100 in food. So it really is a bargain.
Yeah. So then, if it's and you pay the $18, right? You pay the postage, or if they're
no, actually no. The user pays the shipping. The user pays the shipping.
Okay.
Yeah.
You have, it's in beta right now?
It's in beta right now, yeah. So we just launched early this month. We launched early this month, and we're testing it out. We're reaching out to Facebook, buy, trade, and swap groups, trying to get validation of the user flow, kind of ironing out the kinks, but we are going to plan on doing a really full publicity campaign in around November.
Is that targeted locally?
Targeted across the country, because it's going to be all for people that live across different cities so that they can ship close to each other.
Follow up to your question. So on the trading side of it, you guys don't charge anything for making that exchange happen?
No, they just pay for the shipping label, that's it.
Okay. And then second question, what's the company name?
BeeKwee is something that we came up with. It was how we imagined that a child would pronounce bequeath, because that kind of describes the process of the hand-me-down experience. So bequeathing something onto somebody else, so bequeath.
Very interesting. Suggestion. There is a nationwide app called Nextdoor. I'm sure you're familiar with it. And that is an application that really focuses on neighborhood by neighborhood. That's something that, instead of going through Facebook and going wide, maybe new clients might be interested in starting small, knowing someone in their neighborhood to actually do that exchange of clothes.
Okay.
And if you build that relationship, then I can see, you know, as family X grows and family Y does the waterfall, if they somehow share the same style or whatever, then you've got a captive client
and you said using
4 or 5 years.
Nextdoor?
Nextdoor is the app.
Okay.
That's a free app. I think a lot of neighborhoods are beginning to use it. You can just Google, but it's another way to specifically market what you have in a more tight-knit neighborhood and community. And you start small, start getting momentum, and then you start scaling out. So just something to think about.
Okay, we'll do that. Thank you. Yes.
Have you built in any kind of mechanisms to control for the quality of the goods that are being, or the cleanliness?
Excellent question. Yeah. So our application, when you post an item, you give a full description as well as the condition that the item is in, as well as the condition that the item is in, and also we have verification and reviews for users that are offering items, users that are getting items. So there's a star rating, and there's also a customer service hotline as well, where it's called, and if they have complaints, we have steps in order to resolve those.
Why did you decide to not, so like a place like Poshmark, my wife uses that all the time, and she was excited about your guys' platform. I was just kind of wondering why not just charge a fee for the clothes? So, I mean, it's like, it's a marketplace, you're putting something out there for $15 and someone will, haggle you down to $5 and then they take, 30%. Why not put some kind of value on that? Why free?
Very good question. Originally we were going to do credits, kind of like what Yerdle was doing. So one of the things is we reached out to Yerdle, because Yerdle shut down, and we reached out to Facebook groups that really were passionate about Yerdle. However, when I was talking to other people about using a credit-based system or a value-based system, first question they asked me like several times was, how do I know how much to put, for a pair of socks, or how much do I put for a pair of shoes? So we really want to make sure that this was like a hassle-free, because parents have enough stress, to go through. They don't have to worry about, how much money I'm making here, how much money I'm making there. It's just mostly about volume for volume. And so that was kind of like the disruptive idea that we had, was to just, I just want to get rid of clothes, and I want to get clothes that my son and my daughter can wear right now. And so that's what it was all about. It's like getting rid of that hassle, making the purchase or the acquirement of clothes stress-free. Not just clothes, but toys, books, even returning wear.
So I saw on one of your slides, I think you said that next year you project to do $1 million
Yeah, that's our projection.
in revenue?
Yeah, if we get the corporate plan package launched.
Okay, so it's mainly, my interest was like, how do you determine one customer from the next, as far as like someone who's going to pay, when you're putting together a projection and trying to get to that figure, how are you figuring who's a free user versus paid user versus,
So the thing on the site is that we have a ratio meter. So we keep track of how much you've given and how much you take. If it's an equal ratio, you can continue using BeeKwee. If you are getting more than you give, then you have to sign up for the subscription in order to keep using it.
I'm just wondering how you projected that figure as far as who's going to not have enough credits, right? See, am I?
Right. We used and my CEO can go into a little more detail. I'm just a CTO, but we used kind of like a base estimate of how many mothers are available on Facebook groups in the country, and kind of getting our assessment of, well, if somebody exceeds 3 items, most likely they're going to sign up for a subscription item, because it's affordable too. For $18 a month, that's still a steal when you're getting a flatter box that you pay $18 more for. So $36 for $100 worth of clothes, especially if they're designer clothes as well. You can get even a great margin. So that's kind of like what we thought of this would be an attractive option for a lot of mothers.
Thank you.
Just an idea for you. So we're Amazon Prime customers, right? My wife and I are. But we were that because she was giving it for free for a year because she's a new mom and got addicted to the service of how easy it was to do it for everything that we'd be buying for the kids, diapers, all that stuff. So that another way that acquire customers, right, is that new mom, because that's initially you have all the stuff, and then 3 months later you're out of it all, and that's when we started doing all those things, right? So that was a really big one. And then you're not going to be doing any other kids things, cribs or any of that other stuff, right? Just clothes.
Well, we may. I mean, we're going to explore options of like white glove delivery for items that can't fit into boxes. We could do something like local as well. So
Okay.
no, we're exploring every option that we can,
Right.
and that's like way out in the future. We would like to get there though, of like
Okay.
having white glove local delivery of baby cribs, bedding, scooters.
Yeah.
bikes, and so forth.
Got it? No more questions?